Hey everyone, welcome to another interview on the Hungry People, where we are eager to find people who are hungry to better themselves, their environments, the people around them, to get healthier, stronger, and just live in quality of life. And surrounding ourselves with people who are also doing the same so that it comes naturally. Today, I have someone really awesome that I've been talking to for a long time on Instagram. Her name is Lily. Lily, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from? And yeah.
I'm from California. I moved here when I was 12. I was born in Burma and I just graduated this month as illustration major. And I've been raw vegan about 2 years now. And I'm here to share my experience with raw food and my healing journey.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we were able to make this happen. So I started following Lily, and then over time we got to talking, and I mentioned how my ears were very sensitive. And 6 months ago, I was driving around with Michael Patrick, the co-host of Hungry People, and out of nowhere he'll just start screaming, being really loud. So like I think he was on this side of me. I think he like blew my eardrum a little bit. I went to the physician and he said there was a lot of like inflammation, and I would notice when something would like click pretty loudly or hit really loudly, I would notice like a vibration in my ear. And Lily, you were saying you've had some of the similar experiences, but could you talk to us a little bit about that, like when it started happening, some of the ear issues you were having?
Yeah, the very first time I had experienced ear problem was an intense vertigo attack. Like my ear would ring really loud and I'll have vertigo at the same time. And at first, I went to see my doctor and they said that, oh, he actually didn't really say anything. I was just sitting in the ER for a long time and
Mm.
my vertigo gone and I just left home. But then a few months later, I keep getting the same symptoms, but it kept getting worse, like fullness and ear vibration as well. I get that. And at first, it only affect my right ear.
Uh-huh.
And over time, it started to happen both ear.
Oh wow.
And when that happened, sometimes it happened 24 hours, sometimes for 2 days. It's really long. So I couldn't eat, I couldn't go to class, that I couldn't do anything whenever that happened. And I had that for 8 years. So it
Oh my
really
gosh.
affect my social life and trying to, reach my goals and dreams. It distracted all of those.
Were you
And
unable to eat
but
because
right now,
were you getting nausea from the vertigo?
yeah, I wasn't able to eat because the nauseous will make me want to, vomit, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
right.
And also, my doctor said that I had to avoid eating high sodium foods. So I
Right.
was reducing eating salt as much as I could.
Okay.
But then it did help in the beginning, but over time, years and years later, even the medication didn't help. The symptoms keep on getting worse until like last year. No, not last year, about 2 years ago. uh, it was the worst one. I couldn't sleep for 3 days.
Oh my God.
I had the vertigo attack, and
Were you
you
able
can't
to
even
lay a
sleep.
certain way so that it wasn't, for those of you who don't know, vertigo is when it feels like it's spinning, right?
Yeah, I
I've had it once, it's scary.
it is. You can do anything. You have to be awake. Like
Mm.
I have to sit and lean like this. I can't fully lay down or it'll
Mm.
get worse. So I
For
just lean like that for 3 days.
for me, when I had it, I had to I couldn't lay on my back and I couldn't stand or sit. I had to lay on my stomach. But it was so uncomfortable because I'd have to lay with my head turned, so my neck was hurting really bad. I'm like, I don't know what
Mhm.
to do. I needed like a massage table, I guess, to lay on.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Hmm.
This ear problem is no jokes. It's once you get it, you can't really do anything.
Right.
So I where was I?
You were
when I
saying that you
was
had your worst attack about a year ago.
oh yeah, that was attack. After that, I started getting more into like reading vlogs or blogs about people have been healed with raw foods, and that they reverse their chronic illness. And I got really interested to it. Before that, I tried many different diet. Like after cutting off meat slowly, then
Hmm.
I completely was able to cut it off. And I tried plant-based diet. I tried many recipes with plant-based, but my ear was still the same. Like I would still get vertigo attack. Like it got so much better. Instead of getting it every week, I will get it every 2 to 3 months.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah, of
there is a progress that I see, but I was still suffering. So
course.
I I came across fully raw Christina video
Mm.
about juice fasting and raw food benefits. So I got even more inspired, and that's when I decided to do 40-day juice fast before went fully raw.
Wow. So what were you drinking? What kind of juices?
I I drink green juice like celery, cilantro with ginger, lemon, and green apples. I got
Hmm.
really tired of green juice in the first 20 days, so I switched to more fruits juice like orange, watermelon, stuff like that.
And how did you feel?
I At the first 3 days, I was feeling pretty good, like, but later on after 3 4 days, I started blacking out. I think I think it was like detox symptoms,
Mm.
and I had really bad breakouts and intense craving and emotional detox. Like I was so depressed. I thought very negative about everything that I was doing, jobbing myself. I would cry every night.
Mm.
But yeah, it was tough time. But I made it. I took herbs too, like
Okay,
herbal teas with yeah.
got you. And
Yeah.
then
So
afterwards, you
after
transitioned in the raw foods.
yes, I did. I started eating like lots of fruits, watermelons, like apples. I slowly reintroduced solid foods. I
Hmm.
was I was really constipated when I started reintroduce solid foods. I think
Oh, really?
I rushed myself too much because I wanted to eat so bad.
Yeah.
But everything tastes so good after you come off juice fast. It's like I I didn't need salt at all. It's like I can feel all the flavors. It was surprising to me.
Yeah. Do you know who Dan
Yeah.
McDonald is? The life regenerator.
No.
He's friends with it. He's actually neighbors with Fully Raw Christina. And
Ooh.
I just got off the Zoom call with him, and he was telling people that he did a water fast for I think 7 days, and then after the first day of breaking, he had cabbage, and he said it tasted like a Snickers bar. It was like so full of flavor after you cleansed your palate.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can
guess
imagine. Yeah,
fasting does something to your tongue and taste buds.
yeah, right. And were you noticing any benefits as far as your ears going forward with the fasting or the raw foods from there?
Oh, during juice fasting, I did notice I didn't get any ear problem at all.
Mm.
Like in the first 1 2 days, I was having a little tinnitus, but then it just disappeared for the whole 40 days
Oh,
of
wow.
juice fasting.
Why do you think
Yeah.
that is?
I think when I was juice fasting, my body, the lymph flow better, I think, through my ear. It's probably drain much
Right.
easier since I'm not digesting anything, and the body just flow better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
taking some of the pressure off the system was allowed the head to just calm down and kind of clear out a little bit.
yeah. And since I wasn't eating any salty foods, it
Right.
just it helps too.
Great.
But after I start eating more fibers, stuff like that, I got my ear problems back for
Mm,
about 2 to 3 months before it gets better, like right
okay.
now.
Did you notice
Yeah.
that it was kind of like,
Uh,
because you said you were constipated, reintroducing the new food? Do you think having that
yeah.
pressure on your system again maybe made it a little hard on your ears? Like, do you think that's what was making it a little challenging?
Yeah, I think so too. I notice every time I change diet or switch back to old diets or whatever I change, it
Hmm.
would always act up in the beginning. That's
Right.
what I noticed until it probably adapt to it. My
And what,
body.
and what were some of the other things you were noticing transitioning more into raw foods and healthier foods? I'm sure your main focus was your ear health, but what else were you noticing in your body?
Um, the very obvious one was my skin. I
Mm.
had really bad acne my whole life,
Oh,
but
okay.
it just clear up. I still get breakouts, but compared to before, it's so much clearer. And then I also feel really well hydrated. Oh, another thing is after being constipated for about 2 to 3 months,
Uh-huh.
my bowel movement got so much easier, like at least once to twice a day. And that never
Awesome.
happened before. Before I used to go to the like once a week or two
Once a
weeks. I
week.
was really constipated. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, unfortunately, it's more common than we think because a lot of people are ashamed to, or they're shy even just to talk about it with doctors, or the doctors don't know how to help. Because myself, I was constipated for 10 days one point, and it was like I ate so much food that I think I felt worse than the average person. And it's just so common. So many people either have like nervous system issues, or they're dehydrated, or they're eating foods that are really drying them out. So
Yeah.
fortunately, it's getting more and more comfortable for people to talk about, so that people can actually learn how to fix the
Yeah.
problem. I'm glad you're feeling better. I know I'm a lot better of a person when I'm regular for sure.
I can tell. Like I saw your post, like your pictures, the before and after. There's so much improvement. Like it's really obvious. I
Yeah,
can
thank
tell.
you.
Yeah.
So as far as your ears have come since then, kind of could you walk us through the progress that's being made, or maybe some of the challenges you're still going through?
Right now, after a year of going fully raw, I will. I never get vertigo again. It's been
Wow,
so long since the last time I get vertigo attack.
that's
I
amazing.
like right now I don't have any tinnitus, um, but I would still get the vibration. Like when you hear the sound too loud,
Yeah.
your ear will vibrate. I would get that sometimes once a month,
Mm,
sometimes in 2 months. Um,
right.
but it doesn't last long either. Compared to before, I had it 24/7. So I believe that it'll be completely gone soon. Like I just need to give my body time to heal and keep on being patient.
Yeah, that's incredible. I've had only a small taste of what you've gone through. Like I've had the vertigo for one time for one day, and then after Michael Patrick was screaming in my ear that time, I noticed I went to a friend's house and they were rolling dice, and every time they would roll the dice, my ear would be like "Vroom," like that little vibrating feeling, and it was so
Mhm.
uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
I started and the next following week or two, I was wearing earplugs when I would go to work and stuff, because the cooks at work, I worked in a restaurant, they were
Mhm.
slamming dishes and slamming doors. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't take it. So I had to
That's
buy
the worst.
earplugs. And I feel like a fool walking around with earplugs, but I needed to protect my ears because they were really sensitive. So you sound like you've been through way more in that department. And I feel like ears are something, and hearing isn't something that's really much talked about.
Yeah.
And there's just like teeth can just be when you're in tooth pain or you're in having an earache or an ear pain, it's like
Mhm.
no other. It affects everything you do. It can make you nauseous. You can get infections. It's really wild. So I commend you for pulling through that because, like I said, I had a taste of it, but I know how challenging this stuff can be, especially when you have to try to figure it out for yourself. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was very hopeless when I first diagnosed with this ear problem. It's called Meniere disease,
Mm,
and my doctor told me there was no cure, but I could prevent the symptoms. That's all he told me. And
right.
after years and years of suffering from it, I was very hopeless until I adopted this raw vegan lifestyle. I can finally, see my future and do things that I wanted to do.
That makes me want to cry. It's like,
Oh,
because it's unfortunate that we have people like yourself and myself who are so passionate and so eager and happy to live life, and we have all these goals, but then we're almost trapped in our little biological prisons because we're having these health struggles. And actually, I wanted to pose
yeah.
this question to you because there's a lot of people who aren't raw that will kind of shame people for being raw. They'll call it an eating disorder. They'll call it like, oh, you're just doing it to try to lose weight or all these crazy things. When really, people like you and I who have really struggled, who have really had things to try to overcome, it's kind of been our
Mhm.
salvation. So in a way, it's disrespectful, I find, where people kind of come at me like that. So I wanted to commend you, and I wanted to ask you if you wouldn't mind, you know, would you recommend a raw, like, at least for yourself, you stand by it, right? Like, you want to live this
Yeah.
way. You want to live in a way where you feel good so that you can live your life no matter what it takes.
Yeah, I this this raw vegan diet saved lives. So people who talk bad about it, they probably don't fully understand what it's capable of. They probably doesn't know the value of plants, how much nutrition that they provide us that our body really needs. And
Mm,
most of us were raised with uh, not enough knowledge about real foods. We grew up in a society of fast foods and high processed foods, and those are very overrated. And I would really, if someone interested, I would really help them, knowledge them what I know about raw food benefits and encourage them. But if someone who are very against it, you can easily change people's mind. But if they
right.
try to acknowledge it and try to learn, that will be great. And
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just
beautifully said.
spread the word
Yeah,
as much
beautifully
as I
said,
can.
because yeah, I'm not really interested in changing people's minds that don't want anything to do with it, but I would like for those people to have a little bit more empathy for the people who
Hmm.
are doing their best. We're just doing our best. We're just trying to live our lives. So
Yeah.
to have these kind of tools, to have the green juice and the living foods and stuff, and have that in our corner instead of working against us, it's been huge. It's been huge for me, and it sounds like it's been, so important in your healing process. And I can't imagine where you will be in the next 2 to 3 years. You just finished with school, right? And
Yeah.
you're feeling a lot healthier, a lot stronger. You look amazing. I know you're in
Thank you.
California. Are you with your parents right now?
Yeah, I still live with my parents.
Nice.
I'm
Oh, that's
planning on
great.
moving out to East Coast,
Nice.
um, more tropical places like Florida, where you are right now.
Right, right. And yeah, Lily's art is really amazing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put your profile in the link below so that people can go and see your channel, see what you eat and kind of like what you have going on. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah, of course. It's really cool stuff. And you have a green star, so you take this super serious. You're not just, half-assing it at all. Have
Yeah.
your parents been supportive?
In the beginning, especially when I was juice fasting, they were freaking out.
Mhm, yeah.
They were like, "You need to eat. Go back to eat meat." I'm the only vegan in my whole family,
Oh
so
wow.
they were really worried. But now, they can see how much I improve my health and my physical look. They can tell that I do so much better, and now they're supporting now.
That's great.
My mom has been pretty supportive. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And would you mind just sharing a quick version of what you eat in a day, just so people have an idea?
Yeah, in the morning, I kind of still do intermittent fasting. Like I would drink juice, like 32 ounce of juice in the morning around 10 or 11. And then for lunch, I would have smoothie bowl, who's like this size. I was still eating it. It's like the size of my smoothie bowl.
Oh, nice.
With whatever fruits available for the topping. And until dinner time, if I feel like still hungry, I will snack on fruits. And I eat nuts, raw nuts. I will soak it overnight, like walnuts or pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. Those I don't have that. I don't have those every day, but like 2 to 3 times a week for nuts and seeds. And for dinner, I usually have a big bowl of salad with my own dressing, stuff like that.
Awesome. It sounds very similar to how Fully Raw Christina eats.
Yeah,
I seen
since
some of
I
her. Yeah, I seen some of her videos recently, and it was like a juice, some kind of smoothie bowl, and a salad, and so it was pretty
yeah,
similar.
it is.
Awesome.
And
So, yeah. Did you have anything else?
yeah, I stop eating after 8. Like if I eat too late, I can't sleep. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's really difficult for me to finish eating earlier, but when I do, my sleep is definitely improved, and I'm sure it
yeah,
helps so much with the whole health of our head and our ears to be able to get that proper rest and that regeneration going on too, especially
yeah.
the nervous system. So, Lily, I think that was awesome. I'm ready to close that out. If unless you have anything else to say,
Um, not really.
any
Just
words of encouragement for the people watching who maybe felt a little bit of that hopelessness that you did.
I would say don't be discouraged by people who say this diet is eating disorder stuff. Like do your own research, talk to people who have experience in this, and yes, whatever illness you have, even if it can't be completely healed, which most of illness can be reversed, uh, plant-based and raw vegan diet can definitely will help you and give you a new life. Yeah.
Beautiful. So I'm going to tag Lily down below if you guys want to follow her. And she offered very graciously, if you guys have any questions for her, if you're interested in learning more about health or eating this way, feel free to reach out to her. I know there's a lot of people that are watching that they just want to feel better. And sometimes it's really important to have someone hold your hand a little bit and kind of show you the way so that you don't have to make all the mistakes that we've made leading up to this point. You know, for myself, I've spent a lot of money on things that I wish I didn't. I listen to a lot of people I wish I shouldn't, and I've taken some drastic measures that weren't always worth it. So it's nice to have someone who has a little more insight to help you not make the same mistakes. So feel free to message Lily or I if you guys are interested in becoming healthier and just feeling better and feeling like you have your life back again. Because what could be more beautiful than that? What could be better than feeling so good that you can earn the money you want to earn, be with the people that you want to be, have the relationship and the love that you would want to have, and feel good while doing it? I don't think anything is worth trading that. So Lily, again, thank
Health
you
is
so much
life.
for having on. What was that?
Oh, I said health is life.
Yeah, when you feel like crap, nothing is enjoyable. But Lily,
Exactly.
thank you so much for coming on here, the Hungry People. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, this was great, and I feel like down the road, I would love to have you on again some point. See where we're at in another year or so. I feel like we're gonna have really cool things going on. Um,
Yeah, that'll be fun.
awesome. So everyone, stay hungry. To quote Michael Patrick, keep it 100. And Lily, any closing words?
Uh, love yourself.
Love yourself. Can't argue with that. Awesome. All right, everyone, take care.
Yeah.